Hello and welcome. I'm Hrish, co-founder and CEO of SuperWorld, a virtual world in augmented reality where creativity and entrepreneurship come together on one decentralized platform. From the Empire State Building to the Sydney Opera House to some of the more obscure places on Earth, in SuperWorld, our world is yours. Yours to buy, yours to sell, yours to create, and yours to explore. SuperWorld is mapped on top of the real world to create over 64 billion unique plots of land, with each plot measuring roughly 100 meters by 100 meters of real-world space. To give you an idea, one plot of SuperWorld AR real estate is about the size of Yankee Stadium. Ready to get started? Find land to cultivate for its strategic real estate location as a digital asset or that holds sentimental value for you. Buying and selling virtual real estate in SuperWorld is easy, as all transactions take place securely on the Ethereum blockchain, and every plot of land is represented by a non-fungible token on the ERC 721 standard. Personalize your world in AR through interactive 3D objects, animation, photos, videos, and text to truly make a world of your own. Ready to find your peace on Earth? Join us in SuperWorld.
Hi everyone, my name is Marta, and today together with our CEO and co-founder of SuperWorld, Hrish, we're going to discuss how immersive tech is empowering artists and how it creates opportunities for diversity. Today we are not going to be alone. We're going to be hosting three amazing people, Alex from Choice, and two very talented AR artists, Danelson and Marzio. And together with them, we're going to discuss exactly this topic, how immersive tech is empowering artists and it's promoting diversity. They're going to share their own experiences and also the knowledge that they have gained throughout the experience that they have gained in their area of expertise. And we're also going to be discussing the Global Digital Pride that actually brought us together here today. And I'm excited to have all these amazing guests today. We're going to have fun today. It's a bit of a different format because we're just going to have a panel discussion, but I think it's a great a great format right before Christmas just to unwind and listen to those great guys have a chat today. So and Hrish, you probably also want to share a few words for the beginning.
Yeah, it's always awesome to have guests from Choice and artists who are creating some amazing art using immersive technology. I think it's really the beginning of the immersive technology age that we're coming upon. I mean, we've probably interacted in our lives so far with virtual reality content, maybe AR filters on the phone, but really a lot of these technologies with the advent of artificial intelligence and generative AI are getting to be even more exciting. And then with hardware like Apple Vision Pro and Oculus continuing to expand and what they're doing with Quest and other hardware coming out in the space, it's a really exciting time to learn about what's possible in immersive tech and how the artists that we have tonight are utilizing SuperWorld and immersive tech and how they're doing that in ways that are also fostering diversity in the world and diverse opinions and ideas. So that's really cool. So excited to have them on.
Great. So here's a short agenda for today. We're going to talk about SuperWorld. We're going to introduce especially the new people to SuperWorld. We're going to share with you our special offers. Then we're going to have the discussion with our experts, and we're also going to talk about Global Digital Pride and their creative works. And if you guys stay with us until the end, there's going to be time for all your questions. So during the webinar, just feel free to drop us any question that you guys have in your head, or if there is in general any thoughts that you have, or you're excited about something, whatever that is, just share it with us. Say hello. We love to see you guys say hello, and tell us where you're guys watching us from. Today we have a very international team on the webinar. I am here in Poland. Hrish is currently in Spain. Alex is in Tel Aviv, and also we have Danelson from Puerto Rico and Marzio from Italy. So all around the globe, and I think this is what SuperWorld is about. So that's perfect. And yeah, Hrish, in the beginning, I'll ask you, especially for the new people, to quickly introduce yourself before we get into the topic of what is SuperWorld.
Yeah, sure. So, for those of you who we've not met or have not met before, just a bit about my background. I come from experience in a variety of industries. SuperWorld kind of brings all those things together, which is awesome. But I started off my career in management consulting. I worked in investment banking, started off in real estate investment banking of all places at UBS Investment Bank, and also was at HSBC in coverage and M&A investment banking. After that, worked in venture capital at a firm called Spencer Trust Ventures in New York. Worked for an amazing investor named Adam Stern, who's actually one of our investors at SuperWorld. Learned a lot from him, and then decided to go over to Eastern Europe back in 2009 with the vision of starting a venture capital fund somewhere in the emerging markets. I ended up in Ukraine back in 2009. And by 2011 had launched a early stage venture capital fund with two other partners called East Labs. We wrote one of the first checks to Preply, which some of you might have heard of. It's the largest online tutoring marketplace in the world, preply.com. Also did similar things in Belarus. I'm on the board of Tech Minsk. Got early exposure to augmented reality through a company called MSQRD that went through Tech Minsk and got acquired by Facebook. So learned a lot about augmented reality and these technologies. And then after that was an early employee, first biz dev at TopTal, which is a talent place globally. Started living very globally around the world. TopTal is a big proponent of distributed workforces. And so really, became a digital nomad myself, started living all over the world. And then prior to SuperWorld, co-founded Rogue Initiative Studios, which is a film, television, gaming, and virtual reality studio in Los Angeles. My co-founder had produced Call of Duty, Modern Warfare series, and Ghosts. And my production partner there is Michael Bay, the action director. And what I learned from Rogue Initiative is, you can make literally anything in an engine, Unreal Engine, Unity Engine. Engines are really powerful, and you can make a Michael Bay film or a Call of Duty game. Literally anything can be created in an engine. And what happened was about 6 years ago, my co-founder Max Woon and I saw Pokemon Go come out, and all these people running around the world looking for Pokemon characters. And we got together and we thought, what? How could we empower anyone to create, discover, and monetize anything anywhere in real world locations? In other words, could we empower people to be able to build a virtual world on top of the real world about whatever they wanted? And that was the passion and excitement that really got us to form SuperWorld and start SuperWorld back in 2017. And we brought Web3 into that and blockchain as well. So you could actually own places geospatially around the world. So we divided Earth into 64 billion properties of virtual real estate. And I'll talk more about the vision of SuperWorld, but that was what it was. It was about how do we, empower people to be able to create, discover, and monetize anything, anywhere.
So now I would ask you to quickly introduce people to what is SuperWorld, and also share a screen and show people around all the features that they can use on our platform.
Sure. So, I kind of just gave you a bit of what it is. From seeing Pokemon, we were really excited about, if you were interested in music or history, or wanted to showcase your personal life or a philanthropic mission you have, or your business, how could we use these same tools, immersive tech, Web3, and AI, to enable anyone to build a world? So if I come to New York or LA or Tokyo or Madrid, anywhere in the world, you could say, Hrish, check out my world. And I could walk around, and you've left me things. You've left a hologram of yourself somewhere, telling me about your business, or telling me about a mission that you're very, that's important to you, that you want me to learn about. You've left photos and videos in different places on Earth where I can learn about events, or click and buy a product, or click and go inside of a 3D digital twin. So you have the ability to really personalize the real world with anything you want. And so do I, so does Marta. There's an unlimited number of filters on the world. And then, as I said, we divided Earth into 64 billion properties, 0.01, 0.01 longitude, latitude, covering Earth. And so we divided those into these 64 billion digital assets. We're on Polygon, so each one's about, in today's price, is about $80 or so. But when you buy one of those digital assets, those geospatial media assets, you're able to activate monetization there, from advertising, e-commerce, digital commerce, data, analytics, gaming, DeFi, lots of ways to create monetization. And what we want people to do is be able to create anywhere in the world. And so you ultimately, by owning virtual real estate, benefit from this unlimited number of filters that can be created in the world, in real world locations. So I'm going to show you a bit about how SuperWorld looks and how it works. So I don't know if you can see my screen. Is my screen showing, Marta?
Yeah.
Can you see it? Okay, perfect. So, I'm looking at Dubai right now on the map. If you look at all those numbers there on the map, this is the numbers of properties that have been purchased in that area. So you can see about almost 400 or 350 properties that have been purchased in Dubai, in this region, right? A lot of action, a lot of things happening in Dubai. See all those blue spots there? Those are properties that have already been acquired. So if I click anywhere that's blue, you'll notice it says make an offer. So this is already owned by someone, the blue properties, right? Any of these blue blocks there. Okay. And, once you own a property, it's yours. So someone wants to buy it from you, they have to make an offer for it, and you can reprice your property to whatever you want. Now, if I click on a property that's not colored in, this property, again, you can buy right now. It'll cost $77 in today's prices, so about 100 in Matic. That goes up and down based on the price of Matic. Now, if I click in here and I see these orange ones, these are properties that have already been purchased, but someone has listed them to sell. And so you can relist properties for whatever you want. So if I clicked on this one, this property is listed at about $57,000, 75,000 Matic. I can click on this one. It's about the same price, 75,000 Matic. This one's $255,000, 333,000 Matic. So once you own a property, you can reprice it to whatever you want. I'm going to fly over to New York, so you get a sense for how you can kind of fly around the world and go to different places. So I've landed in New York City. I'm going to just refresh my map. Sometimes you just have to refresh it for the blockchain to kind of register. So what I'm doing here is signing into my blockchain wallet, crypto wallet. And so now I'm looking at New York City. And again, everything in blue is purchased. And what I'm going to show you is an integration that we did with Sports Illustrated, just to also show you how this works. So as an example, I can come into SI Tickets world. This is an example of their world. And what they've done, and Sports Illustrated Tickets has added 250,000 events to the SuperWorld map. So they've added events all over the world, live sports, concerts, and theater events. So if I click on the map here at this location, looks like there's a Travis Scott concert at Madison Square Garden. Now, if I go and click here and buy tickets to this concert, and you own the virtual real estate in this location, well, you can activate monetization from those ticket sales. So you'll earn revenue from those ticket sales that happened through me buying tickets through SuperWorld to this concert at Madison Square Garden. So now you're a stakeholder in this location and you're monetizing from that ticket sale. So if you're a fan of Broadway theater, you might want to buy, locations in Broadway where there's, Broadway shows happening. And so this is an example of a ticketing filter, in this case from Sports Illustrated Ticketing. Now, what we just did a couple of weeks ago is we launched a new feature, which is called Worlds. And Worlds enables anyone to create their own world on top of the real world. And tonight, we're joined by Choice LGBTQIA, and they've created a world in real world locations, right? So they have their own curated map of the world. And so they have lots of artists in their community. And again, now I can go and travel around the world on the map here and see content that they've created and placed all over the world, right? And so the beauty of this is they have their own curated map of the world. And so if I'm really interested in Choice and what they're doing in different places, I can come into SuperWorld and visualize content that they've left all over the map. Now, they had an event in Milan, which was Digital Pride Week in Milan a few weeks ago. And so a lot of content that they have is in Milan. But as you see, there's other worlds, right? So if I click into Green Zone's world, which is a company that's based in South Texas, now it zooms into South Texas because this is an area of the world that they're really focused on. And they're focused on other areas as well. So if I zoom out, I'll find content that they've placed in other places in the world, right? I think they have some content in the southern states here somewhere that'll probably pop up. But the point is that you have the ability to create, there's some over here in Boston, it looks like, or Maryland, Baltimore. It looks like they have some content there. Again, all of this content is of various types. So the content can be AR, it could be VR, it could be 3D, it could be audio. So any type of content anywhere, right? So literally, you're not limited to, this isn't just photos and videos, just to give you a sense, the content could be 3D content that you've taken.
See, so now, so if you go to the side,
so this is just an example.
Yeah, see? Oh.
But you can place all types of 3D content. Here's an example of artwork being placed on a street in New York City, right? And then what's really cool is we just launched a new feature, which is called Digital Twins. And what that enables people to do is to create 3D digital twins of real world places. So now you can come over to SuperWorld and, again, you can create a 3D replica of your house like this. And people can walk in, and this is through an integration with Matterport. And you can place this digital twin in a real world location. You could create a gallery that you can walk through, right? Walk through your gallery. You can put artwork on that wall, and you can do like a gallery visit, right? So literally any type of 3D type of experience could be placed in a real world location. We have a currency called SuperWorld X, which is an in-game currency that allows you to earn SuperWorld X for anything that you do in SuperWorld, and how you engage with other brands or other worlds in SuperWorld. And what we're building is the idea of what I call live to earn, which is how can we build a virtual world where people can benefit from doing what they love to do in the real world. So that gives you a high level about what we're building in SuperWorld and what we're passionate about.
Moving forward, let's give people an overview of what exciting offers we have this week, and then we are moving forward to the topic of the week, and we're going to bring our guests on the stage.
Cool. So this is Christmas week, so we're celebrating all of the amazing places in the world where there are Christmas markets. Strasbourg, New York, Cologne, Quebec, Vienna, Bruges, Reykjavik. These are some cities in the world where there are Christmas markets. But in truth, if you buy any Christmas market or any holiday market location in the world, you can buy 3 of those locations. You get 2 properties anywhere in the world for free, or go ahead and use bulk buy. You can buy the whole zone. 20 properties, get 15 free. So go ahead and buy any Christmas or holiday related market area, zone, you name it, in the world, and you can take advantage of this offer. And if you saw what I just built with shown off with digital twins, the idea there is any one of those places now could become a digital twin to sell Christmas or holiday types of items. So it's a big opportunity to buy places in the world where there's market and there's commerce going on for the holidays.
Also, the QR code that you guys see here, it's a QR code to our link tree that we use for every webinar. So not only you're going to see the offers of the week there, but you will also be able to see contact and all the info of our guests today, and also other interesting things about SuperWorld. So it's like a full package of everything that is important today during the webinar, and it's also in the left top bottom of the screen.
And we have a big event going on this week with Digital Pride in Puerto Rico. And so we always have a flash sale wherever there's a big event happening. So we're excited to also promote and highlight Puerto Rico this week. So, it's buy one, get one on virtual real estate in Puerto Rico. So go ahead, come over to SuperWorld and take advantage of this promotion as well. And we always have the ability for anyone to join and become a diplomat. And diplomats are those that own 5 properties or more in SuperWorld. And we have the diplomat offer, which is really great because you can come over, buy 5 plots of virtual real estate anywhere in the world. You automatically become a diplomat, and you'll get 5 properties free anywhere in the world. So it's buy one, get one free all over the world. You become a diplomat, and diplomats get involved in helping us build SuperWorld in the sense that we'll invite you to our brainstorming sessions. You'll get access to certain events. We'll highlight things that you're doing. We're always partnering with our diplomats and working together to promote different causes, or, you'd be able to come on to the SuperWorld show, and would love to have kind of showcase the things that you're working on. So we want to work very closely with diplomats, those who want to evangelize what we're doing. And this is a great way to become a diplomat and take advantage of that offer.
I'm also seeing already a couple of questions dropping, so just ensuring you guys that I'm saving the questions and we're going to answer them during our Q&A session. So we see your questions. And now it's the exciting moment that we begin. The topic is, I'm sorry, am I still here?
I'm here.
Hi, am I here? Okay, sorry, because I thought it disconnected me for a second. So yeah, we're going to talk about how immersive tech empowers artists and diversity. And now I'm going to bring even more people on the stage today. Alexander, Marzio, and Danelson. So here they are.
Hi, everyone.
Hello, guys.
Hey, guys.
Hey, how's it going?
How are you?
Hello. Hi.
It's gonna be a bit messy because it's like a very busy room. Like, thank you so much. I'm appreciated for unstoppable support and growing. And today I'm represent a choice, not a lot, with the choice family and the people who is helping us to build an experimental and pushing boundaries. It's a beautiful two developers, Unity experts who are passionate about gamification for education purpose. Like it's my guys, my dudes, big love and for big support. And maybe like a short intro from myself, and I would like to be our shot today. I would like to highlight the guys and thank you for this opportunity.
Thanks so much for having us
Perfect.
here too. It's great. It's great to work with great partners. So we're excited to work with you.
Thank you so much, Hrish. You're like at the unstoppable support and big support and help from Marta's side because she is doing a lot of work, especially to upload content that you are showing and highlights on the SuperWorld. This is something amazing because it's super helpful to growing us, to spreading the words on our mission about diversity and inclusion. And if we're talking about me, I'm an experimental and real-time business researcher with economic background and professional swimmer experience, let's say, like this. And I'm a founder. I don't want to say CEO because it's not in Web3 approach, but I'm founded the idea of the choice and the people around help me to are growing and building, and we are driving big campaign. Thank you for highlighting Global Digital Pride. So we are starting from May. We are done with 22 prides. Last one was in the Milano where we start to work. This was development by Marzio. Marzio is a core member of team of choice, and he is like helping us to not be in tough situation. It's happened in the past, but a lot of development happening by him and connecting dots. And yeah, I would like to give a mic for guys who is helping to build the choice, because choice is nothing without the people who is building.
Okay, wonderful. So I will just go according to the presentation. So the next person that is in the middle is Marzio. So Marzio, please go ahead and give us a quick intro.
Yeah, okay. As a first point, thank you for having me. It's a pleasure. So thank you, Alexander, for what we're doing every day for every event. And yeah, I'm a developer. I'm a Unity developer, and I'm starting this adventure in the metaverse this year. And yeah, I will talk about this experience if it will be possible. But the main point is the main experience that I'm doing now is the connection through the people, because I'm in Italy, and from my place, I can be connected with every people around the world. And Alexander is, I think, the best guy that can connect people together. So around the world without any limits. So with him and the metaverse tools, it's possible.
Okay, thank you, Marzio. And now, Danelson, please introduce yourself.
Hey there, my name's Danelson. I am from Puerto Rico. I am also a developer, more so a designer. With my partner Ricardo, we both develop spatial experiences, and we've been doing it for the past 2 years, essentially. We're very passionate about educational learning, like essential gamified learning. So we want to give people the ability to learn through games and like just not enter games and play for the fun of it, but also get something in return. And we're aiming to use all of spatial computing capabilities to do so, essentially, in Puerto Rico and the world. So yeah, that's us.
Okay, thank you guys. Super excited. And yeah, we already mentioned a couple of words about it, but let's just give a quick intro about what is Global Pride, because the Global Pride is actually the topic that is bringing us here today together, especially the Global Pride Puerto Rico. So please give us an overview of what is the Global Pride about, and what can we expect this weekend, and maybe you guys can also share what you guys have also contributed with for this weekend specifically.
So, like I'm starting Global Digital Pride. This is a campaign that we are start from the May. We are trying to build the unity by this campaign and stop rainbow washing. We try to unite education institution, startup, businesses, creators, and we are trying to showing new example how we can celebrate diversity and inclusion in the virtual reality without limit and borders that Marzio mentioned. And we are trying to stand for the people to bridging, to build the connection and experimental with the Web3 technologies by NFTs, by artificial intelligence, and involved a lot of communities and supporters. We are closely to finishing this year. Why we are celebrating whole year Pride? Because it's manifesto as well. Because we have a Pride Month, and I think this is rainbow washing, the pink marketing, you name it, just to brands putting the logo for 1 month to make it some extra revenue. But if you are supporting LGBTQA plus and diversity and inclusion, it means you're supporting whole year. And Pride, not just 1 month, different places, for example, Australia or New Zealand, Pride starting in February. And the last officially Pride in Hong Kong in November. And it's like a pretty suitable for this idea. And we are kind of pioneering because we are bridging 5 platforms in one event. We are mostly on the special, but we have a presence on Cyber, VR Chat, we was in the Central Land, and the Yabel platform that is known for Marta as well. This is Berlinian-based guys that building very beautiful technology. And Pride, this is a new experience that we are showing for a new generation. It's not a big interest how we expect because we are living by this, but definitely it's something unique, and I think is a big start for largest transformation in the future, that people start to be a more humanitarian, to respect each other, to understand that we are different and give equal rights, and be connected through our technology. This is short.
Okay, yeah, that's wonderful. And as far as I know, it looks like it's one of the longest running events, campaigns. Like it's definitely in the top of one of the longest running ones in Web3. So that's also another big impact, big example that you guys are here creating.
Thank you. Nobody done like it. Nobody done 22 prides. We have a Puerto Rico that is very close, and will be a cannabis pride. And we are trying to close that number. We was super ambitions to going in 30 countries and 40 cities, but we are challenging because we are building by going, and we are delivering always new experiences. As very inspiring and exhausted in the same time, I would like to say. But we will be more ready for the next year, and already start to talk with Australia, and Global Digital Pride 24 is coming more larger, more bigger, and more stronger. Thank you that you are supporting us and backing us, and this is help us to spreading the words and invite and make it globally. It's a big movement in the future.
And also, can you guys quickly share what was your exact contribution? Because I know that you were also both kind of building the space for the Global Digital Pride, but I also want to know how was this collaboration going?
Maybe like I will explain, because chronology for me is very important. We will talk with Marzio, because with Marzio we by Pride it was also a bit challenging because we was attacked a couple of times, and tried to destroy our events by people, hackers. We don't know still who is these people, and we can stop it. And first hack is happening in the Ira place, the Ira X Lab, check and solve it. But in one event in the Sao Paulo, the environment was gone in 5 first minutes. And Marzio become and like, guys, let's like host, have a beautiful space, nobody see it. It was amazing experience because we all of us jump another environment, no links, like it not driving, and we are building everything during we are talking. This was a big, great experience, and Marzio hosting for us Ibiza. And Ibiza, he is a provide first environment, this copy of his theater, and by this, Choice Star 2 are having independent, specially environment. But Marzio involved in a lot, and Marzio can say more. It will be logically because Daniel, like it is a contribution right now, and is a big support is a Puerto Rico when we are starting. But for chronology, like it Marzio become in the family first, and still do a lot because Amsterdam, like at Music Pride is a Sun Island. Do you remember how many places he was involved? Like,
I don't know, a lot, a lot. But it's funny every time. It's beautiful because there is new people, there is artists that can show their work. Every time there is something new to know. And at the end there is music, beautiful music with a real DJ. Is crazy because you can do it in your home if you are in home or whatever. But the connection for me is something crazy every time I talk about that. So it's cool.
Okay, wonderful. So moving forward, I think it's the time for us to actually see what you guys have created. And I think that maybe we could ask Danelson first to show his artworks, and then I'm going to share the amazing video that you, Marzio, have created for the event.
Perfect. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can
Cool.
hear you.
So I'll be sharing.
I'm just.
Oh, Sa, can I go ahead?
Yeah.
Just making sure.
Well, it's not there yet.
Okay, so yeah, just making sure. I have the window. Okay. So can you see it?
Yes.
Perfect. So essentially,
Now. Go ahead.
I'm sharing the event venue essentially for this for the event on Saturday. So that way I can share a little bit about what we expect and what came like the inspiration behind this essentially. So this space is called Bad Bunny Land, and this is if everyone knows, like most people should know, he was most recently crowned the King of Pop. Bad Bunny is a pop icon. He's also from Puerto Rico, from Vega Baja. So when we talked with Alexander about creating a Global Digital Pride Puerto Rico, something that came to my mind was like, this is something that's he is someone people should like easily know who he is, and then from there he's also an advocate for both LGBTQ and diversity. So we thought it best to like have this was essentially our first space we ever built a year and a half ago. So we revamped it and restyled, like added a lot of new things so we could have it ready for the event. And what we see now here is that we have a mashup of different albums from Bad Bunny. He's had a couple albums he's launched during his career, and here you see representations of all of them. You see, first, right now I'm flying in a choice balloon and a coconut. Coconuts are not native from Puerto Rico, but they were brought here like more than 500 years ago. So they are mostly found in any like beach in Puerto Rico. He also references them a lot in like one of his latest albums. So you see the coconuts they're going to be both the balloon, they're also the galleries, and you see there's a coconut car like at the end where I'm like pointing my hand. You see the street with the poles that you're seeing. This is part of the Yo Hago Lo Que Me Da La Gana album. You see the stage in the middle is part of La Que No Iban a Salir album. That's another album. P fucking R, it's like us saying like that's a very Puerto Rican thing to say after he said it. So that's another thing from his albums. And essentially we wanted to create a mashup of who like Bad Bunny's cover art and make it into an environment where people can like come, they can experience like his art made environment, and then they can also represent pride, because that is like what we're doing here. As you can see, where we have choice and some of our branding all over the place. But for the most part, we wanted to make a place where people could, like, if we say Puerto Rico pride is taking place here, it wouldn't be so far fetched, because it looks like a beach in Puerto Rico, like a random event venue in Puerto Rico, and it has a lot of references to Bad Bunny as an artist, which should be noticeable for people that have listened or seen his like performances or music. So yeah.
And if people want to have this kind of experience, then how can they find it? Also, let people know how can they reach this experience online.
So these experiences are in spatial. Most of what we've built is built in spatial. So you'll find this. Actually, Alex is going to be posting the link to the official one. But right now, after Alex posts the link, it's a matter of going into spatial.io. Looking for the space, which will have a name as will Alexander describe it, and then after that you'll be able to enter from both like the phone, computer, or your VR headset using the Oculus. So that's where this is like a very like interoperable experience, and we hope that people come here and have fun and just like are able to advocate for pride in a space that is meant for just that, essentially.
Is everybody going to be able to have a raccoon avatar?
Actually, the raccoon avatar is part of our our project. So we're not gonna we were gonna make a changer for you to become like a pride Haikun. He's gonna have a onesie with a with a rainbow color and a choice logo in the middle. But essentially, this is part of our project, aside from Space Engineers, which is called Haikun Against Stigma. And this is our way to fight stigma, which is a character called Haikun. And he fights cannabis stigma by educating people about terpenes through gamified ways. So this is also how we connected with pride, and I'm sorry, with choice, more so than like Puerto Rico pride was also cannabis pride, because we think that there's also a lot of stigma towards that, and we're both in basically the business of fighting stigma. So we saw it like a great partnership to both connect for Puerto Rico and also connect for cannabis, and how we can fight that stigma, because everyone should have a choice, which is what we're here for.
Okay, wonderful. So yeah, thank you for the amazing introduction. I'm very excited to experience it myself. And yeah, I think that now it's the moment when I am going to share Marzio's works. For that, we're going to show a video.
So, start the game.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah, no problem.
One thing I
For
want
me, it's okay.
just to introduce this is
Guys, I'm sorry, the restream is not listening to me tonight. Okay, now we're back.
one thing I want to say just to introduce this as well is, for all of the viewers that are watching, one of the things that we're really proud about at SuperWorld is we've created a cross-platform world, which what that means is you can incorporate, whether it's content that comes from Unity, whether you're building something in Unreal Engine, whether you want to build on AR Core on Apple, you want to build AR Core on Google, Android, you want to build AR Kit on Apple, you want to build an eighth wall using Niantic, you want to build using Matterport and create a 3D twin for digital twin for some commercial real estate. We want to make it really accessible, and we want SuperWorld to be interoperable. So what you're going to see throughout tonight is you're going to see, different technologies, whether it's spatial or, whether it's AR Kit or eighth wall or, you name it. And so what we really, really are focused on is how do we make SuperWorld interoperable and cross-platform and accessible and make it really easy to use for people that aren't programmers. If you are a programmer, if you have access to programmers, great. But if you're new, we want you to be able to click buttons and upload content, right? That's what I want to describe, or add a link. If you have content from somewhere, you can literally add a link to a location in SuperWorld. So go ahead. I didn't want to interrupt, but I just want people to understand that you are seeing content in different places.
Yeah, of course. I think that's really good to mention that.
Yeah, exactly. It's crazy. It's crazy, and I think that the innovation is, when you can increase the speed of what you're doing in your life. So I see SuperWorld what can do, and I think there is no limits. Because I'm a Unity developer, and now is my main job. I'm doing only this because I was contacted for many business for creating space and environment, and I know they want to be in this kind of platform because the world is changing and it's changing because the people using everybody have a phone, and also this is why the application where me and Danny showed the video, the picture, and is connected through the mobile. So this is very important when you have an idea of how to connect the people together to make something that they need is where you have to go. So
technology gives us chance to express ourselves and showing what we can, and definitely this is the way to go. And interoperable, like at Hrish, is like
in every field.
And
in every field,
accessible and easy. This is a way to go. I think this is what we need to go on the next level.
Okay, so since we're already slowly getting, Danelson is gone, and he's back.
He's back, yeah.
It's a joke.
Great.
That's what happens when you're in Puerto Rico. So if you were talking to me, I'm sorry. If not, it's all good. But yeah, like it happens.
Internet connection. You mentioned in the last X Spaces about.
Oh, it's okay. Please keep talking. Yeah, if I interrupted you. Yeah, but anyways, I think that since we're already getting into different ideas of what's the function of immersive tech, I think it's the perfect moment to start the discussion. I think that our webinar will be a little bit longer than usual today, but of course we have a full house tonight, so it's not a surprise, of course. But yeah, we have planned a couple of questions. I think that we'll ask a few of them, and starting with the general question, and there are no wrong answers. I just really want to hear what you guys think, all of you here. How can immersive tech impact humanity? And I especially want to know how it is from your own perspective, because of course there are many ways of how it can impact humanity.
Let me start and talk about the, again, global digital pride, because it's very important by immersive tech what we can do. We still have 68 countries that criminalize LGBTQA+. And we are not talking about to be yourself. We're not talking about to having pride physically, but by immersive tech and by global digital pride, no matter where you, maybe your country criminalize LGBTQA+, but you have possibility be connected and learn different culture and celebrating with the different countries pride, and in this way immersive tech make it big impact for humanity to provide again for people who is not allowed be himself in the physical world in the 2 hours of some event to be himself, be like around the people who is don't care, like who respect diversity. And from my perspective in global digital pride is especially like a vision how is like an immersive tech can impact humanity to give a chance to be yourself, to express yourself.
Yeah, that sounds beautiful, and this is why I love Choice. Very concrete mission, and you guys are delivering it. So that was Alex's idea, and I would also love to hear from you, Hrish, Marzio, or Danelson, how for you immersive tech can impact humanity, especially what you're doing.
Yeah, so from my point of view, it's a lot about connection with people. Right now, it's where anything I'm doing, for the most part of everything I've done, it's been through like the virtual world. Like since I started my business, it was like after the pandemic when everything went digital. So I see like a lot of like value in connection, like connecting people throughout the world, and then being able to share whatever knowledge we have in a way that's not like just like sharing the information, but also having those conversations and creating moments between people. So that for me is like how we can impact it.
Okay, thanks. And yeah, do you, Hrish or Marzio, have an idea, or do you just want to support what the guys have just said?
Yeah, for me, as I told, and yeah, I want to support because it's the communication to the people. So it's simple. We live with the communication. So simple like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah, and I mean, I think a lot of what we're doing at SuperWorld is really focused on this question, right? So we kind of combine immersive tech, Web3, and AI, and our vision is how do we use those technologies in SuperWorld to build a world that positively impacts humanity. And I think what's cool about it is immersive tech is such a powerful tool. It's been called the empathy machine because you can empathize and understand, and learn about the environment around you. You can learn about history. You can learn about different causes or missions, or you can learn about what people are passionate about, like this community, and you can learn about it in a way that's so much more powerful than watching a video or reading a book or seeing something in more of a linear format. So immersive formats allow you to really feel what's happening, be in the situation. And I think that makes a really big difference. So, if you want to learn about history or be in a place or understand, digital pride, being there and being in an environment, feeling it around you is a totally different type of experience. So I think it has the ability to really change people's minds, help people understand, what inclusivity means in the case of what Choice is building in terms of the LGBTQIA movement. And, I think that there's just so much that we can get from utilizing this technology to understand the world around us.
Wonderful. And the next question would be, thank you guys for all your input, is which area of immersive tech is the most important currently or in the future for impact and diversity? Do you think there is a specific area, or do you guys think that it should all come together? I would also love to know that from you.
Let's talk about the diversity from different angles, yeah, because especially Choice stands for LGBTQ plus, and we try to give exception of this is part of diversity, but diversity is so big, and I think Puerto Rico is a great example of diversity. You have African and the Spanish community inside, and Danny mentioned how is diverse people inside. And I think Danny have opinion on this question.
Definitely, I believe that for the most part, like I actually get like giving it some thought. I believe that AR essentially ultimately will be the most important part of tech, because like when you talk about metaverse, there's still a lot of, so like from my point of view, a lot of the value of the metaverse when you're talking about people being who they want to be, it's also the fact that they can be avatars to represent themselves and not be themselves in a way. And this is good for pseudo anonymity. But then when you think about the larger impact, like in the diversity aspect, people should be okay with who they are, how they look from that point of view. And AR is going to ultimately allow for people to feel okay with themselves. And essentially, like as I see it, if you want to dress with AR, if you want to like add a like something with AR, it would be where it's added to you, who you are, and not like modifying entirely how you look or like who you are essentially, and would allow you to like be yourself, like as best you could, essentially, from my point of view.
Yeah, I agree totally, Danny, because for my opinion is because the people have the mobile, so, and they using the mobile and they try to using the social to monetize, for example. So a lot of people try to be on the social to give an exchange. So with augmented reality on the mobile, you can do it if you're using the right tool, So I think this is the most important tool at the moment that can be the change in the entire planet.
Okay, so thank you guys for your input. I'm going to ask you one more question, and then we will move on to how people can get in contact with you. So what are the examples of how your projects have contributed to creating an impact? I think that we already kind of mentioned this one, so I'm going to switch to another question, because otherwise we'll be just repeating what was already said a lot. That's why I'm prepared with many questions. Also from your experience, what is the current state of adoption of immersive tech? And I would like to also add one more thing here. What do you think should be done in order to make it more adaptable, more accessible to people so everybody can benefit from it?
I want to go real quick and say that in Puerto Rico, from my perspective, it is very slow. Like right now, I even went into SuperWorld and there's only 30 some properties that are bought within Puerto Rico. Like there's not a lot of people in Puerto Rico that are actively like in immersive tech. And that's something that we're trying to bridge by like actually going places, going to IRL events, having like hosting different like spaces for us to educate people. And I do believe that if we want to onboard more people to immersive tech, we need to do a better job describing it simply, and just like having a simple way of saying it. Like right now, spatial computing is hard for people to understand. Metaverse has a lot of stigma tied to it, and then there's still like not a very easy way for people to understand, hey, this is the value of the virtual world. So that's something we're fighting towards as well. So that's my opinion on that.
I totally agree with you. I just want to throw my penny here because most things that I do is marketing, especially for the immersive tech startups, and it's very important to learn how we get out from our own bubble and understand how to explain it to people who just don't face it on a daily basis. And sounds like should be simple, but actually it's the hardest part.
I completely agree in this case, because we are building so long and we are started by choice before Global Digital Pride to educate and make it session. And I think the beginning last year was more interest that we're having right now, or we are kind of just got at the bubble. It's not a really growing, and interest of the metaverse is very hard to explain the value. But what we can be doing for mass adoption, I think everything is going. New are processors and new devices. This is like accelerating this process. Definitely when it's like devices will be more accessible, even like the platforms, if we are talking about the special, they start to work very good with mobile. Or we talk about Decentraland, we still need to have a computer to be there. Is also need to understand, as Marzio mentioned many times, like a mobile phone with a new processor give us chance to just understand and adopt the idea that this video game where you play and kill, yeah, and immersive tech where you synergize, communicate with the people, educate each other to learn something, entertain yourself. This is too different, because still for people is a lack of education. And I think what is supposed to be happening that is schools, institutions supposed to be take it like an attention on immersive tech. Immersive tech will be a stain and just growing. It's a question about the time. And lovely to see SuperWorld and different platforms who is provide some accessibility one by one to onboard people. And current stage is a harder stage, but I truly believe that big interest coming by new devices that will be a more like a price different. Definitely 2024 will showing different result. We have upside downs with a lot of interest. We are lost this interest, but MC become because more tech and more accessibility and more easy right now, because still a lot of stigmas of people who strike metaverse but give up by challenges, technological challenges.
And yeah, Marcio, Hrish, do you have something to add?
Yeah, for my opinion, the main point is the Vision Pro. The cost is too much, so maybe this is the reason that the people don't use the VR. So I'm joking. There is a lot of people that they're starting to use VR, and I observed also in the platform where I'm building spaces that I have to optimize. The spaces for the VR, and the VR is the new technology that is interconnected with augmented reality. So is you have in the future you will have to do both phone and VR when you will be in your home. So it is something crazy. But I want to say something about your question. Before this event, me and Alexander was in a party, and it was a party with almost 40 people, metaverse party with almost 40 people, and everybody are creators. and friends, a part of one community that we created. And it was something crazy because the organizer of the event, I can mention it, the name is Ira, with Lace Better. They are totally crazy. They made with an AI platform, they made the gift for every participant. It was something crazy for me. It was the first experience in this way. But you know, when you know how to connect to one link, how to click one button or whatever, you can make you can use this kind of platform. So people need just to know and to learn and to start to do what they want to do. It's something new. They need just to know, for my opinion.
You would like to say that this was stage when it's like developers growing, because Danny come on the special when special have no legs, and now we have a lot of ready developers that is kind of that is can change everything, can change the game.
Yeah, exactly. Totally agree.
Experience can be much better.
Yeah.
Okay. Also, Hrish, do you have a few last words, or how is it for you?
Yeah, you know, I think that we're just getting to an inflection point with the growth of immersive tech. Apple Vision Pro is coming out in the spring. Apple products usually get a lot of excitement. And so, you know, I think that product, when it gets into market, and even if it's in a small number of hands, people just seeing that product and, you know, having the opportunity to check it out, maybe even at the Apple store, is going to get people very excited about what's possible. And then I think that's going to just get a lot of excitement around what immersive tech means. Right now, people just think of it as VR. And they think of it as something you're doing almost like a game. But I think we're going to start seeing utility from this technology through Apple's hardware, because I think they've built it in a really you know, in a smart way in terms of the applications and the utility that you can get from it. Whether from just like working or, you know, having different screens and you know, being able to absorb entertainment content, playing games, you know, so it's very versatile. And then because of it, there's going to be so much other innovation from other companies that need to catch up. It's kind of like right before iPhone came out, all the phones had little keyboards on them, like Blackberries. And then iPhone came out with a screen, and then everyone was like, what? You can just create a screen. You don't need buttons on a keyboard. And then within a year, like there were 10 phones that had just a screen, right? And then now, you know, 3 years, 5 years later, no one even uses a keyboard. This is what's going to happen with immersive tech. So you're going to see a lot of people get into it. It's going to be very interesting. I think we're very well positioned at SuperWorld to get the mainstream to start using this technology. And we'll be on Apple, we're on Android, we're on Google, we're on Oculus, you know, we're cross-platform. So very excited about helping to increase adoption.
So with this hopeful outlook into the future, I think that this is how we can close this discussion. Thank you guys for all your contribution. And yeah, also just for, you know, the expertise that you could bring in here today and show people all the ways how people can use immersive tech and how fascinating it is. And yeah, so just a couple of sum ups especially from our guests. So just a reminder, right, that this weekend there is going to be the Global Digital Pride in hello, am I here?
Yeah, we're here. Like this Saturday, 23rd.
Scared that Yeah, I was scared that there's just silence because my screen stopped moving. Yeah, so there's going to be a Global Digital Pride this weekend. So, Alex, maybe you want to share a few details about like how people can join and so on.
Thank you so much that you are talking. This Saturday, 23rd of December, at 7 Central p.m. Central European Time, 2 ISTs at Puerto Rican time, and 1 p.m. ETC, we will be celebrating Global Digital Pride. You can see a social with a choice in the LinkedIn events, X we have, and also we have an Instagram, and you can come and experimental with us. You will have event on 2 languages. We try to make it maximum diverse as possible. It will be a Spanish language, it will be translated by Dani, and we will have an English language, will be an interesting local artists, musicians. We had an open call for Global Digital Pride between the CactusBoom community, Vertical AI Vortex community, ULA team. It will be some new content we'll be creating. It is going to be a fun if you are so sneak peek by Danny already, and you see a Haikun in the center. Come to join us, follow our social, and enjoy with the Global Digital Pride Puerto Rico.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, you guys can also scan the links to all the socials from Choice, as well as Marzio. Now also, or Marzio, to whatever you want. It's your time now, so please. Oh, sorry, I clicked the wrong button. Yeah, now you can talk. Now people can scan also the QR code to, and yeah, just share a couple of words of how people can go.
Yeah, so in my link tree there is the 3 work that I showed in the video, and where you can go through this experience if it is something new for you, and start to be in the immersive world.
Okay, should I go?
Okay, wonderful. And
Did you change the slide?
Yes, please go ahead. Yes.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, sorry, Marzio,
so yeah.
No, it's okay. It's okay.
Okay, perfect.
Go ahead, Dani. Yeah.
Please go, Danelson.
Thank you.
Sorry. So yeah, thank you. Thank you for the space. Right now, you can get in touch with us through Spatial Engineers, which is our account for building, and or Haikun Against Stigma, which is our account for fighting cannabis stigma. Those are our 2 main projects, and where I am both the creative director and founder. So if you want to stay in touch with us, you can follow us there. And then you'll see everything we're developing. Also, we'll be sharing more information about the events there. So we'll see you on the event Saturday, hopefully. Thank you.
Okay, one last word, as it is a collaboration, with amazing communities. We, as always, have an open call for communities. We would love to bring in more communities, build their own world, and Hrish, maybe regarding this topic.
Yeah, I mean, I think the thing that we're really excited about at SuperWorld is enabling communities to build their own world and to share any type of content in real world locations. And, Choice is a great example of a community that's very global. They do events all over the world. They have members that are all over the world that are, working in immersive tech, or maybe they're artists, or maybe they're, business people, or maybe they're community leaders in themselves, right? And so they want to have the ability to do things commercially, maybe sell things, maybe sell artwork, create digital assets, be able to showcase locations, projects they're working on, just as we had earlier. And so the idea here is we want to enable any community to very easily create a world. So if you're listening to this, if you have a business, if you have a community, if you're part of a soccer team, if you're part of a philanthropy, it doesn't matter what it is that you are doing. Come over to SuperWorld, click worlds, and create a world. And now you get your own map of the world, and you can do anything you want on that map, showcase all the things you're doing, and you can share all of that content on any social network. You can bring content, whether you've done it on YouTube or TikTok or Instagram, you can bring it and place it into real world locations. So if I'm going to Puerto Rico and you want to, again, place content in Puerto Rico, you can do that. And you can tag even Choice if you're, for example, working with Choice, and Choice can repost your content into their world too. Or you could see Choice's world as an example and say, wow, that's a really amazing piece of artwork there. I really support Choice. And you could bring Choice's content into your world. And so the idea is these worlds kind of come together and communities come together. And that's what we're doing at SuperWorld, is we're building a way for all of us to work together to build a better world. So that I'd love to have communities come together and build a world in SuperWorld.
I just wanted to ask real quick, and just to, I'm sorry, just for the sake of understanding it the simplest way possible. So essentially worlds are like my own feed on a social media. So I can share it with people and they can go into my own feed without having to go into the actual world.
So worlds is kind of like a geographical feed, if you think of it that way. Okay. Mm-hmm. So it's like a map. If your feed was a map of the world, okay, then if you're in someone's world, you can see all around the world. We have a place on the left panel where you can see the latest posts that are being posted in every world, as well as if you click into a world, you can see what their latest posts are in that world. So that's another way of thinking about a feed too. You can look in someone's world and see what's happening, and that's a feed of their world. You can see a feed of every world in SuperWorld. And soon, again, as you're following worlds, like you can follow specific worlds, you're going to be able to get very specific content from worlds or events that are happening across worlds. And then the other thing you can do is, if you think of like a retweet, or if you repost or reshare content somewhere that you see on someone's feed on Facebook or Instagram or whatever. Similarly, if you go into someone's world and you're like, as I gave an example, you see something in Milan from Digital Pride Week, you can click on that post. There's a button that allows you to repost that, and then it'll get posted in your world. So then if I see your world, I can see content that maybe Choice created in their world. So it's a way of bringing also worlds together.
I also have one analogy that I think also helped me understand or the advancement. We already said it is quite similar to posting content media. But for example, even I just thought now about how we would collect all the information in Google Sheets, and you would just be able to scroll down, just like you are only able to scroll down on Instagram right now. And then for better mind mapping, was tools created like Miro board, where you can do it, all over on a map. And this is what I that this is how the SuperWorld can advance the content creation, is that from just vertical scrolling, and exploring the content, now you can do it from a more spherical perspective. So this is also the analogy that came to my mind that I think can just show a comparison of what's the difference, and how it is advancing into something more, not just vertical. Okay, so moving forward, we'll just give a quick overview of this week's offers again for the ones that joined in the end, and we will start answering the questions that were asked. And also already, I want to say in advance, thank you guys for everything today, but of course we're also going to do it in the end.
So the first offer is our Christmas week offer. So if you buy any Christmas or holiday related locations, markets, Christmas markets, holiday markets, anywhere around the world, it's buy 3, get 2, or buy 20 and get 15 properties anywhere in the world. So if you're interested in holiday markets around the world, those are great places to build digital twins, stores. A lot of commerce is going to happen where holiday markets are in real world locations. So take advantage of doing that. If you're going to a holiday market, come over to SuperWorld and check if it's available, and come over and take advantage of this offer. And Puerto Rico is where we're celebrating this week for Digital Pride. Come over to Puerto Rico, buy 1 property and get 1 free in Puerto Rico, and get 1 free anywhere in the world. So buy properties in Puerto Rico. I think it was mentioned earlier that there's lots of awesome properties available in Puerto Rico because people don't yet know that this is even available. So if you're from Puerto Rico, if you're listening to this, if you love Puerto Rico, really great time to come over and take advantage of buy 1, get 1 in Puerto Rico.
Danelson is happy. I see him nodding his head. Yes.
Yeah, come and buy your favorite places in Puerto Rico. And this is our final offer, which is become a SuperWorld diplomat. So a diplomat is anyone who owns 5 properties in SuperWorld. So this is a really easy way to become a diplomat, and you get 5 bonus properties anywhere for free. And diplomats are those at SuperWorld that are evangelists, that are doing amazing things around the world that we want to highlight, that work with us on our brainstorming calls, help us build our product and features. We go to diplomats because they understand SuperWorld, they're property owners, they're community leaders, they're people that are building in SuperWorld, and people that really understand, the mission. So if you want to join us, become a diplomat. We want to highlight you. We want to partner with you. Take advantage of the diplomat offer, buy 5 plots and get 5 plots anywhere for free. So you get a bonus 5 plots when you buy 5.
Okay. And that was the last offer for today. And let's just do a quick recap. What was the most important thing for you today, guys? And we move on to the questions. So it's like a quick summary for us in the end. So since so far nobody's starting, let's say Alex. Please tell me, what is your most important takeaway from today?
For me, is very important to see again the SuperWorld united, supporting us, and definitely I like how you are growing, like Hrish, every time and every day, like new updates, and that definitely program for the console, like it's very interesting and a lot of beautiful opportunities, and the great how many like a platform you are bridging in one place. Definitely accessibility is very important that you're trying to provide, and the sharing can put an analogy with the known social media that you can do it in more immersive way. And all the time when I have a talk with you people from the SuperWorld, I learned something new, and I really like how you are growing. And this is very important to build this unity, to feel this support, to stand for the mission. And I learned that it's very great that we are united together. And again, going to deliver new experiences, to stay for right values about the diversity and inclusion. And lovely to see that not alone in this way, that is like a lot of mindset people close who is hard working and building to transform this world. And I'm learned that we are not alone. We need to be talking what is important for us, and definitely find the right people who will be growing this idea that I see from today, and everyone can see it. What I learned today and past year, from the Global Digital Pride campaign.
Okay. And yeah, Marcio, Danelson.
My main takeaway from this whole conversation was that Superworld is very easy to use. Essentially, in the matter of us having this whole conversation and webinar, I created my account, I created a world, and I'm here like browsing through worlds and seeing content. So it's easy to do from the phone and the computer. So that's my main takeaway, that I'll be using Superworld in 2024. So you'll be seeing, we might not be able to buy a lot of Puerto Rico. There's a lot of there's a couple stadiums already bought, but then we'll be creating, even though we might not get to buy a lot of land.
And you, Marcio?
Yeah, for me, yeah, I get a lot of new information. So, but the main point, the main things, because I starting to have a new talk about the virtual world, about the metaverse, about how to connecting people, and as I told, the mobile is the main tool that can change this world. But what I get now is that we are using the phone through the social, but for I don't know exactly the percentage, but is a lot. We are affected by the algorithm. So if we want to create something, if we want to do something, and we are on something that make you put you as effect, you don't go where you want to go. But with this kind of tools, or technology like SuperWorld, you can do it, because you are not effect of algorithm. You can do what you want. You can buy what you want. You can create and share what you want. And I think this is the big change that I understood today. So for me, it's crazy.
Okay, great. And Hrish?
Yeah, and those are all really awesome. We talked about accessibility. We talked about ease of use. I love the comments about the algorithm. I think those are very important things to us. We want to we want to enhance your real life, your physical life. We want people going out into the real world and visualizing things or interacting with things, or just realizing that it's not about staying at home with a headset on necessarily, but it's about exploring the world out there and being able to leave things in those places, but real places that people want to go, people want to experience. So ultimately the goal is to go to Puerto Rico. I can learn about Puerto Rico and then take a flight and go there. And on the virtual real estate side, you can click anywhere on the map and buy these locations. So that was something else that I also want to clear up, is sometimes people think it's only the blue spots that you can buy, but you can buy anywhere, because there's just so many places in the world. And so for those of us who want to go somewhere, but we can't get there yet, because, they're like, I want to go, but maybe I'll go next year. we can get in touch with those places now because we can start adding content to those places. You can have an event in a place. I think Marta actually put this webinar in Puerto Rico. She's live streaming it geolocated in Puerto Rico, which is interesting, right? She's playing content in a location discoverable from that location. So, it just kind of blows your mind as we're thinking geospatially, back to the topic of immersive tech, as we think geospatially about content and we think about places you can go in the real world and get to know those places, I think that, the possibilities over the next few years with technology, generative AI, all these things is really going to transform what we can do as communities to spread the word, whether it's choice or whether it's any mission that anyone wants to promote out there. These tools are really at our fingertips. So I'm very excited about people being able to use tools and giving us ideas about what we should build too. So if you're new to SuperWorld, and Danelson mentioned this, like he just started an account, please let us know what you want us to build. Because that's why we're doing this. Is you tell us, hey, you know what? I wish I could do this. Let us know, because that's what we want to do. Is we want to build SuperWorld for you. We all build it together, and we've learned so much from Alexander and the team at Choice about what they want to do, and bringing in content from other places like spatial, bringing in maybe YouTube video or being able to share content in different places. So these are all things that we want to build into the functionality.
Okay, so yeah, thank you guys. And now let's begin. We have the Q&A. We have 3 questions. And the first question is from Alex Potter, and I think this one is mostly for Hrish. Will Rogue Initiative be creating a world and posting advanced AR VR content to showcase their talent?
Yeah, the beauty of Worlds is literally any type of content can be posted in Worlds. So whether it's Rogue Initiative or other immersive technology studios, linear content studios, NFT studios, AI, generative AI content, the idea of advanced AR, VR content or advanced AI content, generative AI content. We want to make it really easy for anyone to get in. So we're really excited to make that happen at SuperWorld, is to get all different types of studios in Hollywood involved in general. So very excited for upcoming partnerships in the content area that are coming to Worlds.
Can you see other people's worlds within your world?
Yeah, you can go into other worlds and you can repost content from other worlds, and that content can come into your world as well. So if I go into, Choice's world and go into Milan and I want to share all of the content from artists and Choice, I can bring them into my world. And so if I share my world with a friend, because someone's like, hey, Hrish, I want to see your world, they can click explore around my world and they can discover, other content that I love from other worlds.
And also, to be more specific, it is the top right corner. Like when you have a post, it's at the top right corner. It looks like 2 arrows in a circle. So this, if you want to play around, this is the thing that you want to click if you want to exchange your worlds with each other. And the last question, to the panel around the world, is local advertisement in your areas excited to enter into this new type of experience?
I can take this one real quick. And essentially, I would say yes and no. I've seen a lot of like local businesses, like big businesses, like banks and different like establishments start to use AR like for art purposes and just showcasing art and saying, oh, we're very artistic as a brand. So I do see they're trying to use it, but then I don't see like there's a lot of excitement specifically. It's more so like, oh, this is something new, we should be doing it, but not like exploiting it in a way that's actually bringing value to everyone.
Anybody has anything else to add? Okay, I guess we're good. So that was the last question. And yeah, I think it's the high time to say a few last words on our side in Tel Aviv and in Poland, Italy, Spain. It's already the time to go to bed. So I think, yeah, let's just say a few goodbyes and thank you. So I can just quickly start. So thank you guys again for today. You're amazing people. I'm really happy that this webinar brought us closer together, that I could really see the works that you are creating. And yeah, for all the positive energy today. Thank you guys.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. It was really nice and like it cozy at home. And thank you that are showing beautiful creators in this room. And definitely we are planning more onboarding on the SuperWorld, and we will showing more and talk more to learn more. I'm super excited, and thank you, Hrish, for this like a craziness and very like a good and open-minded new world that we are building, all of us. And you allowed to do everything. And thank you, Marta, for hard work for United Communities, organized and everything, guys. Love you so much. And it's just beginning, right? We are just starting to onboard and creating our super world.
Okay.
Thank you so much for having us.
Yeah, thanks. And yeah, so have a good night, guys. Have a great Christmas. We are probably going to be here next week, so not Happy New Year yet, but Merry Christmas. And yeah, spend it in the best way possible for you. Just have a great time.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.